Today's a WRAL weather alert day. We're watching a coastal low spreading some rain into the area. I'll show you where we're seeing it now and when it becomes heavier.
Tracking wet roads, the WRAL storm tracker is monitoring rain on your morning commute. We're going to check in live as the storms move in.
And 4 more people charged in connection with a mass shooting in Catawba County. What we know about the ongoing search for some of these men.
The Nintendo Switch 2 is here. We're going to tell you how hundreds stood in line for several hours, all for the new console.
And today is the day if you got a Switch 2 to stay inside because it is a WRAL weather alert day. Thanks so much for joining us here on WRAL News and Fox 50. I'm Chris Lovingood.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey. Yeah, this morning earlier when we came in, it was completely dry. Now people are starting to head out the door for work and school, Elizabeth, and they're starting to see some of that light rain.
We'll take a look at the radar. Dual Doppler 5000 showing just patchy showers across our area, especially from Raleigh southward. Looking at some rain if you're headed from Durham westward down I-40 and down 85 towards Charlotte. For our area, we're starting to see it showing up on the cameras right here in downtown Raleigh and Apex and in Cary. So you're going to run into a little bit of that with the storm tracker out on the road to show you where that rain is falling. And we'll be following it as it gets a little heavier later on this morning. Our northern counties could see up to ½ an inch of rain and then maybe up to 1.5 inches, and our southern counties. Again, this is a coastal low, so it'll be heavier the closer you are to the south and eastern part of the state. Of course, it started early this morning. It'll last up through dinner time, and the best chance of that rain will come around mid-morning all the way through mid to late afternoon. We may have some afternoon and evening thunderstorms along with this, and you can see how it's getting a little wetter here on Fayetteville Street. Also notice I'm seeing several people walking around without umbrellas, so it's not falling very heavily, at least just yet. 72 is our current temperature, but we'll probably only make it up to around 75, so we're just going to hold right here where we are. This will be the beginning of a wetter pattern. Looking ahead to the weekend, we have a chance for severe storms, and we'll walk through that coming up. Ken?
Well, Elizabeth, because of the wet weather rolling in, we've deployed the WRAL storm tracker out on the roadways this morning. Kelsey Coffey, photographer Charles Bradley, driving around Wake County, showing us a first-hand account of what they're seeing right now. Let's check in with Kelsey. And Kelsey, what are you seeing at this point?
Hey, Ken, right now we are on 87 South, and all we're really seeing right now is light rain. We heard Elizabeth talk about a little bit earlier how we're expecting for that rain to pick up more as we get later in the morning hours. But we'll give you a look now at the clouds just so you can see just really dark, dreary, ominous clouds this morning. As far as your morning drive, not too much to worry about. This rain is not impacting folks' visibility at all at this point, but you just always want to be careful when there's wet roads out there. But Ken, what can you tell folks before they head out the door today?
I can tell you, especially if the Beltline is part of your morning commute, that northern section of the Beltline, you can see the huge delays it's causing all the way from the I-40, I-440 Wade Avenue interchange all the way back to Highway 64 Knightdale Boulevard, if you will. Even the southern loop of the Beltline, you're seeing the congested buildings starting around Lake Wheeler Road. Many of you use I-540 as an alternate route. Right now, you're looking at a 13-minute delay between Lewisburg Road and I-40 this morning, so keep that in mind as you're about to head out. As far as other major routes coming into the capital city, here's what we're looking at. Our friends in Wake Forest, you're looking at an 8-minute delay, just a 4-minute delay if you're coming in from Knightdale. You're coming in from Apex this morning, you're looking at an 8-minute delay as well. Over in the Bull City, very little to no delays, nothing really that's going to make you late at this hour. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
In Raleigh. This was the scene from the WRAL breaking news tracker on Wake Forest Road and Falls of Neuse Road. More than 150 customers lost power after this crash. We are working to learn more about what may have caused it and the condition of the driver.
4 new suspects are facing charges in connection with the shooting at a Catawba County house party. The sheriff's office is searching for Keandre O'Neill Mack and Tolan Huff Jr. Both are accused of firing shots at the party. And new this morning, alcohol law enforcement have arrested Patrick Tolbert and Raekwon Craig. Both men are facing charges for hosting the event and providing alcohol to underage people there. Now, just yesterday, we told you about Garen Killian. He's facing an attempted murder charge, and he made his first appearance in court. A judge granted Killian a $200,000 bond, and he's now out of jail with an electronic monitor. Now, according to court records, at the time of the shooting, he was already out on bond for assault charges, but those were from a separate shooting on April 6th. One person was killed and 11 others were injured in that shooting this past Sunday near Hickory.
North Carolina lawmakers want to make big changes to the state's foster care system. This morning, lawmakers are expected to debate what sponsors call the Fostering Care in NC Act. In a Senate committee, the bill would give the state more power to check records and enforce rules at local social services offices. This comes after 2 months after WRAL's documentary Broken Foster Care in North Carolina exposed major problems in the system. You can find that in the documentary section of WRAL.com.
President Trump announced a new travel ban that goes into effect Monday, and the reason his administration is giving security concerns. The ban prevents people from 12 different countries from entering the United States, and this includes people from Afghanistan, Haiti, and the Republic of Congo. It also partially restricts the entry of people from 7 other countries, but the list does not include Egypt. That's the native country of the suspect in the Boulder, Colorado attack. A White House official says the president decided to put a ban in place after that case.
Durham County commissioners are holding their final scheduled budget work session this afternoon. Last month, County Manager Claudia Hager put forth a near $1.5 billion budget. That included an increase in the county tax rate, a pay raise for county employees, and a $10 million increase in the school district budget. The school budget has been met with resistance as the district asked for a nearly $16 million increase. The county manager is expected to deliver the final recommended budget at next week's meeting.
The Governor's Crime Commission is scheduled to meet today. Orange County Sheriff Charles Blackwood is leading the commission. It's expected to get updates on gang crimes and violence at the county level. This commission is designed to help advise the governor on policy, and it's responsible for seeking funding from the federal government. The meeting is open to the public, and it starts at 9 a.m. on Front Street in Raleigh.
A big morning for gamers. At midnight, tons of people got their hands on the highly anticipated Nintendo Switch 2. That includes the hundreds of people lined up outside the Best Buy in Cary. Ali Calabar was there in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker when the doors opened. Ali, so many people waiting to get their hands on these games. They have them this morning. They're probably playing right now.
Yes, and it's a perfect day to do that. And just in the past 30 minutes, we actually spoke with a Best Buy employee who says that they sold about 350 overnight. And he says that they haven't seen lines that long since Black Friday a few years ago. And we saw those lines ourselves. It was stretching around the curve there, one of 2 lines, some people waiting about 10 hours just to get their hands on that new Switch. From super fans
I've always been a huge Nintendo fan
to super moms.
Tomorrow is my son's birthday. He saw the preview when it came out and he just wanted it.
And even Super Mario.
12 o'clock, let's do it.
Best Buy says more than 200 people waited in line before midnight, all to take home the gaming console. The new Mario Kart game also exclusively sold with it. Donald Willingboard says he stayed up late to get it for his grandkids, but also for his own enjoyment.
And I see them doing it, and although I'm 73, I thought I could try to learn this. I had the first Atari, the first Sega Genesis, so now Nintendo Switch 2.
I just love that, and I have a feeling that Willingborg and a lot of people we saw in those lines probably waking up to play on their Nintendo Switch 2 this morning. Now, again, that Best Buy employee we just spoke with says that they sold about 350 overnight, but they still have some left, so we're expecting to see them sell out today. They open around 10 a.m. for anyone who wants to get their hands on one of those last few Switches inside. Reporting in Cary, Ali Calabar, WRAL News.
Financial troubles deepen for St. Augustine's University. New court documents obtained by WRAL show a Wake County judge ordered the university to pay more than $20 million, and that is money owed to the wireless company SBA Connect. Now, the wireless company claims the university went into default of its agreement in September for not making payments to the company. 1992 graduate Carol Kimball wanted to continue her family's legacy of attendance at the HBCU, but an uncertain financial situation, well, that's giving her pause.
It's just another hit in a long line of blows of the lack of responsibility, lack of board governance, lack of oversight by those left in her charge. I can't even send my children there, and that was always my plan.
On top of financial challenges, SAU is still fighting to change its accreditation status after a previous appeal in March failed. Arbitration is still set for June 26th.
Tonight on WRAL, cell phones in the classroom. You've heard us talk about this a lot this week. State lawmakers and school boards want to restrict their use. That's why WRAL's Destiny Patterson teamed up with our education insider, Emily Walkenhorst. They went inside schools in the area to see what's working and what's not.
As I'm walking around, what am I actually looking for now? What are they doing? Are they doing the work or are they on their phones?
Our team worked to answer questions you might have, like, is one policy better than others? And what do students and teachers think? We answer those questions tonight on WRAL News at 6. Next for us at 8, federal orders. The Trump administration is taking action against 2 major universities, the threats to accreditation and international student visas.
Plus, a crane collapse. 2 people were killed on this job site in Florida that you're seeing. The reason that crane may have fallen.
And rain's working its way into our area. You can see it here in Apex. I'll let you know if you're going to see rain during your morning commute. (8:13), taking a look at dual Doppler 5000 radar. Some showers, of course, working their way up from the south. We have a low that's developing along the coast, sending some showers our way. Haven't seen a whole lot of this on cameras until just about an hour ago. Started to fill in a little bit here around Wake County, so you may see some showers in Wake County into Johnston County and south down toward Fayetteville. Best chance of rain comes around 10 o'clock to around 3 o'clock. It is likely to linger through the evening commute, but it may be heaviest on either side of lunchtime for us, and the chance of a thunderstorm possible as well. Right now it's 68 in Wilson, 72 in Durham, 70 in Fayetteville. Looks a little bit damp in Fayetteville right now, but not a whole lot of rain has started to fall yet in Durham. If you're hoping to get outside and do some exercise, I would do it earlier than later. You may end up having to do it inside today, just with the chance of showers on and off. It will be a pleasant day with highs in the mid-70s. Looking ahead to the weekend, we have a chance of severe storms Saturday and Sunday. We'll walk through that coming up. Ken?
Elizabeth, let's take a spin around the Beltline. It's starting on the northern loop of the Beltline. Just within the last 5 minutes, there was a stalled vehicle right there. Raleigh police was assisting. They just cleared that within the last couple of minutes or so, but you can see definitely traffic is picking up, and that northern loop of the Beltline, as well as the southern loop of the Beltline, as we look at I-40 and Rock Quarry Road this morning. If this is part of your morning commute, that southern loop of the Beltline, you're looking at an 8-minute delay at this point. So you might want to leave the house a little sooner than usual just to be on the safe side. Of course, if you're coming in from Johnston County, no delays whatsoever between Highway 42 and the Beltline at this hour.
All right, thank you, Ken. The Trump administration is making moves to restrict 2 of the nation's most prestigious universities. The Education Department says Columbia University, quote, acted with deliberate indifference toward the harassment of Jewish students, end quote. Now, this is in response to an investigation into how the school handled pro-Palestinian protests on campus. The notice threatens the university's accreditation status, and Columbia says it will address the administration's concerns directly with its accreditor. And President Trump also signed a proclamation to restrict foreign student visas at Harvard. Entry into the U.S. is suspended for 6 months for foreign nationals wanting to study at the university. The president says this is being done on the basis of national security concerns. Judges blocked a similar ban last week, but last night's executive order requires different legal authority.
A crane collapse in Florida killed 2 people. This happened yesterday afternoon on Merritt Island, about an hour east of Orlando. Investigators say the construction was at the site of a new hospital. OSHA working to determine what caused the deadly collapse. Meteorologists say strong storms produced 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts near the site at the time of the collapse.
A man is finally out of the hospital nearly a month after a wrong-way driver hit him on I-40. This is Kai Ritchie. He was injured in the crash last month. Ritchie was on his way home from work, and that's when police say Jose Lopez Sanchez hit his vehicle. Officers say Lopez Sanchez was driving the wrong way on I-40 while impaired. As a result, Ritchie suffered injuries to his arms, knees, and legs, among other things. And he says the recovery, it's going to take some time.
Physical therapy appointments at Cary Wake Med, hopefully, and just working as hard as I can, even outside of that, you know. Doing workouts at home like I used to, and just being active and not just, you know, laying around in a bed all day, because that's not going to fix it.
And he says he holds no grudge against the man who hit him. He hopes others learn from his story and don't drink and drive. You can visit WRAL.com to learn how you can help Kai's road to recovery.
Another person has been identified in connection with that bombing on California fertility clinic. Authorities say the attacker did not work alone. 32-year-old Daniel Park was detained at JFK Airport in New York. In the criminal complaint, the government says Park shipped approximately 275 pounds of ammonium nitrate to the initial bombing suspect. That's an explosive precursor used to make homemade bombs. That suspect died in the attack.
Happening right now in the WRAL Live Center, we want to give you this live aerial view of a huge fire, a bus depot fire in Philadelphia. The fire broke out 2 hours ago, but we have some new information on this. We now know at least 20 of these transit buses are burning. We also know that these are decommissioned buses that were taken out of service, and they were parked here at this large bus facility. So it does not appear to be affecting bus transit service there in Philadelphia. No injuries are reported, but you can see a lot of fire crews are there on scene, just pouring water on this thing. Black smoke that can be seen for miles. No word yet on what started this bus depot fire.
A Raleigh man is facing charges because his dog died in a hot car. Brett Brown told police he tried to bring his pit bull to work on Monday, and court documents say Brown was told animals were not allowed there. That's why he parked his vehicle nearly a mile away with the dog locked inside around 8 a.m. While a coworker found the dog dead around 4 p.m. and called police. Brown posted bond and is due back in court this month, and he faces up to 3 years in prison if found guilty.
An icon of the downtown Raleigh skyline is here to stay. The Round Holiday Inn on Hillsborough Street was supposed to be demolished. Tidal Real Estate Partners bought the building in 2021 with plans to tear it down. But now plans have changed. IHG Hotels and Resorts told WRAL the building's shape will be preserved and it will be converted into a Hotel Indigo.
Federal leaders will be in our area today to learn about the growing biotech industry in North Carolina. In fact, 2 members of the National Security Commission on Emerging Biotechnology will visit as part of a nationwide tour. They'll attend events at the NC Museum of Natural Sciences in Raleigh and the Franklinton location for the biotech company Novonesis. They're expecting to talk about how the U.S. could use biotech to create jobs, help American manufacturing, even protect the environment.
All right, let's get over to weather. It is a WRAL Weather Alert Day. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner has a look around, couple spots that rain is moving into the area, Elizabeth.
We have some showers showing up here in downtown Raleigh as we take a look from our Jimmy V camera down Fayetteville Street. In Fayetteville, also some scattered rain as we look down toward Hay Street. It's a bit wet. And the same thing in Apex on Salem Street. We're seeing some showers. It looks dry right now in Chapel Hill as we take a look from our camera there from top of the hill. But we're likely to see more rain there. It's going to start to pick up in intensity here probably over the next several hours. So we see this low developing here and pushing northward up into our area. It's likely to continue to rotate some rain in for the rest of the day today. This is a look at dual Doppler 5000 radar. It is a little bit heavier back to the west from Charlotte back towards Statesville. That's starting to creep a little bit closer to our southwestern county. So around Hoke County and Moore County, you're starting to see some of that rain at least approaching. It's very light and patchy right now for Wake County and Johnston County, but it could be something you see as you're heading out the door from Rollsville to Zebulon to Smithfield, back over toward Apex and Raleigh, of course. Taking a look at what's happening here, this is our next weather maker. It's a coastal low bringing us some rain, a small flooding risk for our south and southeast counties, and it's not a zero risk for a tornado. If you remember, during tropical systems, which is this not as a technical tropical system, but it's a coastal low, so they're somewhat related. With tropical systems, we can see isolated tornadoes, so it's not a zero chance there, but it's not something that we're terribly concerned about. We do have a greater severe threat over the weekend. This is not likely to bring a lot of severe storms to us today. It's mainly just going to be some rain, and in some places there could be a few storms where the rain is a little heavier, especially around lunchtime up until around 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Once we get past the evening commute, all this begins to taper off slowly. We'll jump ahead to Saturday, and you can see it's a level 1 risk for severe storms, but the level 2 threat is very close to us and includes just small portions of both Moore County and Hoke County. On Sunday, from the Triangle area eastward, we also have have the potential for some severe storms as well. So we're going to be watching for that Saturday and Sunday. Friday looks like the driest day for the next 4. Monday brings us a small chance for showers and thunderstorms. So it's really today and then Saturday and Sunday. All total, we could see anywhere from 3/4 of an inch to maybe 2 inches between now and Monday. But for today, it's going to be more like a 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches. Saturday and Sunday, along with the severe storms, we're going to see a lot of heat, looking at 90 for the high on Saturday. Ken?
Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Let's get right to the Beltline and just isolate the Beltline, because I know that's part of your morning commute for many of you. You can see the congestion building starting around Rock Quarry Road and going all the way to Gorman Street this morning. Similarly, in the northern loop of the Beltline. So let's take you outside, give you a look at the northern loop of the Beltline. Those are the westbound lanes moving away from us. You can see the bumper-to-bumper traffic this morning. As far as the southern loop goes, here's what you're looking at. These are the westbound lanes coming toward us this morning. Let's take a look at how much time it's going to delay you on that southern loop of the Beltline. But before we do that, here's a look at I-540. I know many of you use that as an alternate route. You're looking at a 12-minute delay between Lewisburg Road and I-40 this morning. So give yourself some extra time if you're about to head out this morning. It'll be just to be on the safe side. These are the other times coming into the capital city, just a 5-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest.
Thank you, Ken. New charges in Catawba County. Multiple people have been arrested after a dozen people were injured during a shooting at a house party. This morning, a look at who's been arrested and who police want to arrest.
Stay safe with the latest WRAL Weather Alert Day info. Get up to the minute weather and traffic conditions when you get in your car. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. Happy Thursday. Time now is 8:26. I'm Michelle McConaughey. Not a great day for the golf course. Meteorologist Elizabeth Carter showing us where that rain is falling right now.
Yeah, right now we're seeing it falling in Wake County, down toward Johnston County and Harnett County, and then a little heavier well to our west. We're going to see this rain continuing to fill in as we head through the morning hours. So just to keep that in mind, we're seeing some showers again around Wake County and Johnston County currently, but more of that to come. Our best chance of rain comes mid-morning up through the latter part of the afternoon up until, say, around the evening commute. Right now we're seeing some rain in Apex. It's pretty light and patchy right now, but it will get heavier later. So exercise forecast, you're probably going to want to bring it inside. It'll be cool this afternoon with temperatures in the mid-70s. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, the rain is coming down, so we're going to take a spin around the Beltline. Let's start with the northern loop of the Beltline. Those are the westbound lanes moving away from us. You can see the bumper-to-bumper traffic. Similarly, traffic is really beginning to pick up on the southern loop of the Beltline. And with that in mind, let's take a look at what you're about to run into as far as delays going. You're coming in from on the southern loop of the Beltline. You're looking at an 8-minute delay. Really free and clear if you're coming in from Johnston County this morning. Very little to no delays coming in between Highway 42 and the Beltline.
Thanks, Ken. Power has been restored to 150 customers after a car hit a power pole. It happened at Old Wake Forest and Falls of News roads earlier this morning. We are working to learn more about what may have caused the crash and the condition of the driver. And today, state emergency management officials will provide an update on their preparations for hurricane season. They'll hold a briefing at the State Emergency Operations Center. Our WRAL severe weather team is forecasting around 13 to 15 named storms this year. Next on Fox 50, area gamers were in line this morning for the release of the Nintendo Switch 2.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news, power is restored after a crash in Raleigh. The latest information we are learning from the scene this morning.
And today is a WRAL Weather Alert Day. A coastal low is spreading rain across our area. I'll show you when it becomes heavy where you are.
And switching things up, hundreds of people lined up at midnight to get the new Nintendo Switch 2. We caught up with some local customers happy to get their hands on the new video game console. And I think somebody next to me is a little jealous this morning that they couldn't be in line for that. Chris Lovingood had to be here to talk about this WRAL Weather Alert Day. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle McConaughey.
And
I
I'm
know,
Chris
I'm
Loving
sorry.
Good. I'm a dad now. So I have responsibilities. Can't pick up games. That's okay, though. My real family is here right now at work, and we're talking a little bit about what is happening today with the weather alert that we have in place. Ken Smith will talk about traffic in just a second, but let's start with Elizabeth first.
As we're getting through the next several hours, we're going to watch the rain really starting to pick up in intensity. Watch what's happening just to the west of our viewing area, beginning to creep into Hope County and into Moore County. Just to the west of that towards Charlotte, that rain is definitely heavier. You can see the difference in color. It's a darker green with some yellows embedded. This is just some light green. So a little bit of light patchy shower activity for us here in Wake County and Johnston County. It's enough to make the streets wet in a few places, and Ken will show us that in just a minute. It is a WRAL weather alert day today. We do have a low risk for flooding. That won't really get around to showing up until we get to maybe mid to late afternoon. About half an inch of rain in our northern counties, but up to 1.5 inches in our southern counties, a little closer to where the low is, and that's likely to continue all the way up until around dinner time. Best chance of rain is really now all the way through mid to late afternoon. Some thunderstorms could pop up. Not expecting much of a chance for severe storms, but this is a coastal low, and sometimes those do produce isolated tornadoes. There's not a great chance for that, but I just feel like I should mention it. Here's a look at North Hills, and we do have rain on the camera lens. It is definitely falling. It is wet there at North Hills. 72 is our temperature in the triangle, and our dew point 65. So it feels tropical outside. We're going to hold it right where we are into the mid 70s through the rest of the day today. Looking ahead to the weekend, we have a chance of severe storms. I'll show you what we're looking at coming up, Ken.
All right, Elizabeth, because of all the wet weather, we have deployed the WRAL storm tracker. Kelsey Coffey, photographer Charles Bradley, they're on I-540 westbound right now, giving us a first-hand look at what they're seeing out their window. Kelsey, what are you seeing right now?
Ken, right now we're just seeing light rain, which has been consistent since that rain started around 7 o'clock this morning. We'll give you a live look now at road conditions. So just a little bit of a slowdown here, likely related to just us reaching the height of the morning commute as folks are headed off to work. We'll give you a look now at just some of the clouds here, super ominous. We'll try to wipe off that camera a little bit for you so you can see there. But as far as your morning drive, not too much for you to worry about. As Elizabeth mentioned, this should impact your morning commute really for the rest of the morning here, but we'll be sure to keep our eyes out here in the WRAL storm tracker and update you every 30 minutes. So Ken, what can you tell folks before they head out the door today?
So you're heading out the door, particularly if the Beltline is part of your morning commute. Look at the congestion that we're seeing on the southern loop of the Beltline all the way toward the Cary area. All those I-40 westbound heading into Durham this morning, extremely congested. As we take a look at the northern loop of the Beltline, this is I-440 Ridge Road. You can see the bumper-to-bumper traffic there heading away from us in terms of those westbound lanes. Things looking great around I-40 and Rock Quarry Road, but once you get toward Lake Wheeler Road, things really begin to slow down. That southern loop of the Beltline, and this is what I'm talking about. You're looking at just a 4-minute delay coming in on that southern loop of the Beltline. Really very little to no delays whatsoever if you're coming in from Johnston County on I-40 West. Wade Avenue is another troubled spot this morning, but you're just looking at a 3-minute delay. Really nothing that's going to make you late if you're using Wade Avenue. Many of you using I-540 as an alternate route. Kelsey Coffey and Charles Bradley were just on that I-40. Right now you're looking at a 13-minute delay if you get on from Lewisburg Road all the way over to I-40. But once you get past Creedmoor Road, it's clear sailing all the way to I-40 at this hour.
All right, Ken, thank you. Following some breaking news, power has been restored after a crash in Raleigh. This was the scene from the WRAL breaking news tracker earlier on Wake Forest Road and Falls of Neuse Road. More than 150 customers lost power after this crash. We are working to learn more about what caused the crash and the condition of the driver.
An update this morning to the shooting at a Catawba County house party. 4 new suspects are facing charges. The sheriff's office is searching for Keandre Mack and Tolan Huff Jr., and both are accused of firing shots at a party. Now, new this morning, alcohol law enforcement have arrested Patrick Tolbert and Raekwon Craig. Both men are facing charges for hosting the event and providing alcohol to underage people there. Just yesterday, in fact, we told you about Garen Killian. He's facing an attempted murder charge and made a first-to-court appearance there yesterday. A judge granted Killian a $200,000 bond, and he's now out of jail with an electronic monitor. According to court records, at the time of the shooting, he was already out on bond for assault charges, and those were from a separate shooting on April 6th. 1 person was killed and 11 others were injured in that shooting this past Sunday near Hickory.
Work on a major event center planned in downtown Fayetteville has been canceled months after the city broke ground. During a special meeting last night, the Cumberland County Board of Commissioners voted to kill the Crown Event Center project. Rising costs, an extended completion date, and questions about parking all contributed to their decision. Commissioners wondered if the money for this project could be better spent elsewhere.
Do we have the ability to do things like a regional aquatic center? Does that drive tourism? Is a way that we can legally use those dollars to do that? That may be one example.
And factoring in the parking deck, the Crown Event Center project would have cost almost $200 million. The board also voted 5-2 to explore renovating the current Crown Theater and Arena.
Today's state emergency management officials will provide an update on their preparations for hurricane season. They'll hold a briefing at 2 o'clock at the State Emergency Operations Center, and the governor will be there too. This is happening as many people in western North Carolina are still recovering from the devastation left behind by Helene. Our WRAL severe weather team is forecasting around 13 to 15 named storms this year, and 6 to 8 of those could become hurricanes.
Starting Monday, President Donald Trump is banning travelers from a dozen countries. The reason? What his administration is calling security concerns. The ban prevents people from 12 different countries from entering the U.S., including Afghanistan, Haiti, and the Republic of Congo. It also partially restricts the entry of people from 7 other countries. The list does not include Egypt. That's the native country of the suspect in the Boulder attack. A White House official says Trump made the final decision about the ban after that case.
A new state council will oversee what can be done to control the cannabis industry in our state. Governor Josh Stein now supports legalizing THC intoxicating products such as marijuana, and he hopes legalizing certain cannabis products can better protect children and force age requirements for all products. Now, those don't exist right now. Republican Representative John Bell is part of this new council, and he owns a hemp manufacturing facility that produces items such as CBD gummies and hemp pre-rolls. Bell says that he welcomed the opportunity to join Governor Stein's council to bring order to this growing industry.
I believe that with proper regulations, both industries, the hemp and CBD industry and the medical cannabinoid industry, could exist in North Carolina. Not only could exist, but be a very big business here in the state if it's done right.
Now, Bell didn't say that he agrees with efforts to legalize recreational marijuana, but the council will also include members of law enforcement and the agricultural community.
A lot of money is on the line. The soccer tournament enters its second day in Cary this morning. The first match is scheduled for 10 o'clock. Tickets are still available online. The winners among the men and women teams each have a shot to win $1 million each. We'll be watching for any weather-related delays to today's tournament play and update you as soon as we know. We do know that light rain is moving in, so we're going to keep an eye on that for you.
All right, your time is 8:38. A rescue at a potential puppy mill. More than 100 dogs were saved from a house in Raleigh. What happens next before the animals can be put into loving homes?
And summer savings, 5 on your side, monitoring June's best buys, where you can expect to save when shopping this month.
Hey, you know what? We are starting to see some rain come down in parts of our viewing area. We're giving you a live look in Fayetteville. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is tracking the chance for localized flooding and who's most at risk. That's just ahead.
(8:42), taking a look at dual Doppler 5000 radar. It's going to be a wet day. It is a WRAL weather alert day. As we get through the next few hours, you'll start to notice the difference. Back to our west is where the rain is steady to heavy, and it's starting to fill in a little bit. We have some light patchy rain across parts of the triangle, specifically Wake County, and then over towards Smithfield and Clayton. That's starting to push on up into the Lewisburg area there into Franklin County. But Raleigh eastward toward Rollsville and over toward Rocky Mount, eventually it's going to arrive there. 90% chance between now and around the middle to latter part of the afternoon. We do have the chance of some scattered thunderstorms, especially a little later today from lunchtime on. It's 68 in Wilson right now, 72 in Durham, and 70 in Fayetteville. Fayetteville is definitely wet. We've had some showers there so far this morning. It's a good chance for today, and then a pretty quiet day on Friday, maybe some late evening thunderstorms. And then looking ahead to Saturday and Sunday, we have the chance for severe storms both days. We'll take a look at what we could see in the timeline coming up, Ken.
Well, Elizabeth, as the rain comes down, here's your window and your morning commute as we take a look at the northern loop of the Beltline. These are the westbound lanes moving away from us here at I-440 and Ridge Road this morning. As far as the southern loop of the Beltline, this is what we're looking at I-40 and Rock Quarry Road. But once you get past the Rock Quarry Road and get toward Lake Wheeler, things definitely pick up just a bit on that southern loop of the Beltline. Here's what we're talking about. You're looking at a 5-minute delay if that's part of your morning commute this morning.
Thank you, Ken. More than 100 dogs have been rescued from a potential puppy mill in Raleigh. The animals were taken from a home on New Bern Avenue. The Wake County Animal Center and SPCA of Wake County are now sheltering these animals. They will be placed up for adoption once they have received veterinary care and recuperated. We are working to learn whether any charges will be filed in this case. And June is packed with smart shopping opportunities if you need a gift for Father's Day or for a new graduate. 5 on your side's Keely Arthur has the best deals to help you make the most of your money.
Here's an important reminder. Father's Day is this month, June 15th. And here are some great products to buy for dad and just for your summer needs. If the dad on your list likes to get outdoors, consider this Samsung Galaxy smartwatch on sale at Walmart. This rugged, top-rated model aced all of Consumer Reports tests. If you're shopping for a DIY dad, make his day with a heavy-duty Craftsman cordless drill marked down at Walmart. Consumer Reports tests show it handles well and is quick when it comes to drilling and driving.
June is also a great time to save while stocking up on all your summer essentials.
And dad can whip up a frozen drink with this GE personal blender discounted at Amazon. It earned top scores in icy drink and puree tests, and it's dishwasher safe. And Consumer Reports recommends this Neutrogena SPF 50 sunscreen. It's a steal on Amazon. As for next month, if you're in the market for a mattress, hold off till then. There's some big deals coming up July 4th. Keely Arthur, 5 on your side.
Something almost as big as the famous redwoods themselves has invaded Woodside, California. Look at these. These huge trolls are part of a new exhibit at the Philalee estate from artist Thomas Dambo. These were created to teach humans about being good stewards of the earth. And it's also meant to encourage recycling, gardening, and creating artwork there. The trolls are made of reclaimed materials, so pretty cool.
That is cool. And some crafty parrots in Australia are surprising scientists with their problem-solving abilities. Several years ago, researchers noticed that cockatoos had figured out how to drink from water fountains, but not just any fountain, one that required them to turn a handle. This prompted scientists to look further into it. The birds using a variety of techniques to get the water and also managed to learn from each other. The one mystery that still remains is why they use the fountain when there are more accessible water resources nearby. Producers knew to give me this story because I'm so excited about this. They are so cute. They're so smart. They are so smart, these birds. I love it. All right, it's a big morning for gamers. At midnight, tons of people got their hands on the highly anticipated Nintendo Switch 2. That includes the hundreds of people lined up outside the Best Buy in Cary. Ali Calabar was there in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker when those doors opened.
Yes, when we got here, we saw that line stretch around the curb, one of 2 lines. Hundreds of people stood in line here, some people telling us they had been here for longer than 10 hours.
And I've been here since 5:30.
I'm here probably a little after like 6 p.m.
I've been here for like 14 hours.
Hours of waiting just to make sure they got their hands on the Nintendo Switch 2 at midnight.
12 o'clock, let's do it!
It's been 8 years since the first one came out. The new gaming system has a larger screen and updated technology. It also exclusively comes with a new Mario Kart game. We spoke with Vlad Darrell, who was first in line.
Since I was a child, I really liked Nintendo games. And once I heard that the Nintendo Switch 2 was coming out with Mario Kart World, I'm like, I have to get it.
And just moments ago, we spoke with a Best Buy employee here who says that they sold about 350 overnight. Now, they still have some left, so they expect to sell out today. Reporting in Cary, Ali Calabar, WRAL News.
We We are getting a double dose of Cynthia Erivo this week. Time for a look at what's trending, Chris.
So the trailer for the sequel to Wicked is now out. Even though that movie, Wicked for Good, won't hit theaters until November, you don't have to wait that long to hear new music from Cynthia. The Grammy-winning actress's second studio album, I Forgive You, it drops tomorrow, and I can't wait to listen. She has a beautiful voice.
Her voice, like, it's just earth-shattering. Like, it is so beautiful. I don't know how she hits the notes that she does, but she does, and it just gives you the chills. It's amazing. Erivo not only performs all of the songs, but she co-wrote them as well. So, I mean, she's just so talented.
I walked out of Wicked with shivers down my spine.
Me too.
Goodness, she's
Loved
so
it.
talented.
Love it.
All right, taking a look now at some of the top stories in the world of entertainment. Here's Douglas Hyde with today's Hollywood Minute.
The sequel to Wicked won't hit theaters until November, but you don't have to wait that long to hear new music from its star, Cynthia Erivo. The Grammy-winning actress's second studio album, I Forgive You, drops on Friday. Erivo not only performs all the songs, but co-wrote them as well.
All right, everyone, I am Lars. This is Secret. We are Fire Saga.
Who wants to hear a Eurovision song?
Will Ferrell is adapting his Eurovision comedy into a Broadway musical. The original 2020 film followed an Icelandic duo as they chased their dream of winning the Fame Song Contest. Ferrell will co-write the musical. No word yet on when it'll hit the stage.
After a lifetime of filming the natural world, I now understand the most important place on Earth is not on land.
Ocean with David Attenborough takes audiences on a visually stunning tour of the world's most spectacular undersea environments. The famed naturalist also trains his lens on the threats facing oceans and some inspiring efforts to help marine life recover. The feature-length documentary debuts on Nat Geo, Disney Plus, and Hulu this weekend. In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
All right, let's get over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner to talk about the rain that's coming down. A little misty behind me in the gardens, Elizabeth.
Definitely. Starting to really move in from Raleigh up towards, say, Franklin County, down toward Goldsboro, where we're seeing some light patchy rain. But it is starting to pick up in intensity back to our west. And so that's beginning to creep into the Sandhills. It's a little heavier from Greensboro to Salisbury, back over towards Charlotte, down the I-85 corridor. But we'll zoom in here in the triangle from Raleigh eastward toward Zebulon, up toward Rollsville, down toward Clayton. That's where you're going to end up seeing just some light patchy rain, but it's getting a little heavier down to the south. Shortly, this is going to be moving into Southern Pines and Pinehurst. It's been pretty light this morning, but it's about to pick up in intensity a little bit, and you're seeing some of those showers picking up to there in Rayford. So it is a WRAL weather alert day. We have a low risk for flooding, mainly in our southern to southeastern counties. Northern counties may only see up to half an inch of rain, but our southern and southeastern counties maybe an inch to an inch and a half. From now all the way up until around 6 or 7 o'clock. After that, most of this starts to pull away. Here's the low starting to develop. We were expecting it to develop a little closer to the coast, but it looks like maybe it's forming up here, at least at the surface over parts of South Carolina. So pushing some of that rain in around the Charlotte area, but it will move into our area over the next couple of hours. Here's 10 o'clock, and you can see it's pretty widespread and picks up in intensity between noon and, say, 3 o'clock or so, starting to lift a little farther to the north. Some rain lingers through the evening commute, and then after that, most of it moves on by. We're looking a bit drier on Friday, but Saturday and Sunday are trending wetter with a chance of severe storms. We'll talk more about that in a minute. This is downtown Raleigh, obviously, the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences. It may be hard to see, but the raindrops are coming down right now, making Jones Street wet, and that trip through downtown is pretty messy right now. 72 is our temperature, and we'll climb into the mid-70s for highs this afternoon. Mid to upper 60s for Roxborough, South Hill, Rocky Mount, Goldsboro, low 70s in Fayetteville and Clinton. And in the Triangle, it's 69 in Apex and Holly Springs, 70 in Cary, it's 69 currently in Durham. Around town, we'll see mid-70s in the Triangle, some upper 70s in our southern counties. Of course, our next weather maker, that is today, WRAL Weather Alert Day, as that rain starts to pick up in intensity and is likely to affect us through lunchtime and into the evening commute. Friday, tomorrow looks pretty dry, but both Saturday and Sunday are starting to trend a little bit wetter with a chance of some severe storms. We don't have a severe weather alert yet for Saturday or Sunday, but those are days that will be watching pretty closely. It's going to be pretty warm those days too. Saturday at 90 and then 87 on Sunday. Those, of course, days that a lot of folks want to be out. So keep checking back as we watch that forecast for the weekend closely. Michelle?
All right, thank you very much, Elizabeth. And as we head to break, here's a look at your winning lottery numbers. We'll be back with another check on weather and traffic next.